Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to daily current affairs session. So, we have a very few articles today. So, fortunately or unfortunately we do not know, but anyway it is a time saving for us. These are all the relevant articles for today from various newspapers and are mostly factual. There is no concept as such to explain, most of the things are factual in nature. So, today's coverage we will see Mush Bhujji rice. So, it is from Kashmir. We will see why it is there in news and what is the speciality of it, and then tuberculosis. So, this is very important because the data that was released is very latest. The Ministry of Health has released India TB report of 2024. So, we will see about the disease as well, and then we will go for the data that is given by the ministry. Then Indian Council of Medical Research lung cancer management, right. So, there was an article in the Hindu what ICMR is going to take care in the coming few days. We will see what actually is lung cancer, what actually is lung, and then we will also see about the ICMR before we are going to see the detailed plan. Then, so these two articles comes under the science and technology, and then foreign direct investment. So, there was a recent data of 2023-24 in the Hindu newspaper, also from the Invest India website. So, here we will see the details. This is part of the economy, Indian economy. Again we have a science and technology article in the Hindu again, H5N1 virus, the bird flu, that also we will see, and there is only one fact today from the factual pointer, and then finally we will see the practice questions. So, these are all the articles that we are going to discuss for today. I hope you are ready for the session. In case of any doubt you can comment here, right. Yeah, very good evening Srinath, welcome to the session. So, let us start with the session without any delay. First article is Mush Bhujji rice, and there was an article in the Hindu, very big one, that is not relevant how they are cultivating and what is the issue, the data and all that is not relevant for us, but what actually is this rice, which area this is being grown, and what is the speciality of this particular rice. So, that will be sufficient for our exam. There is an article as one study has happened related to this particular rice variety. A study was conducted with the local university in the Jammu Kashmir. So, they have given why there is a unique aroma in the sense very smell, good smell, taste, and with a different combination, why this rice has a unique aroma. So, they have studied this, right. So, we will see details about it, right. Before that we will see what actually is Mush Bhujji rice. It is a normal rice like any other rice, but have a certain specific features, right. So, it is a very short, if you observe here, this is not a lengthier rice. So, it is a very short rice, and then bold aromatic rice, and grown in which region, that is very important. They will mostly ask Mush Bhujji rice has got GI tag, or from which region they will ask this, right. So, it is from Kashmir Valley, grown in the Jammu Kashmir region, that is one important fact, and it has a very unique aroma as well as smell conditions which gives organoleptic properties. So, organoleptic properties means our organs has special pleasure when we eat or when we smell certain things. So, this is what the character of this particular rice, and these are mainly grown in not all parts of the Jammu Kashmir, but certain districts, Sagam, Panjgam, and then Sofshali district, Antang district. So, you no need to worry about remembering the districts. So, just making you, if you are from a student from Jammu Kashmir, then it becomes important to remember the districts, but if you are from other states, no need to remember the districts, but rather you can directly remember the state, that will be sufficient. And it got a GI tag, geographical indication tag, we have discussed in previous sessions. You can go back and see what actually is GI tag. It is nothing but any specific item has a origin in the one's particular locality. Nobody can claim that this is origin to somewhere else. So, it is GI tag where it is given that this is origin with special features, special characters from this particular place. So, that is called as a GI tag, and this rice has got GI tag in 2023 August. So, that also you need to remember. Now, what did the study revealed about this particular rice? Why this has a very unique aromatic conditions. So, there is only one point to be remembered, no need to worry about too much technicalities. So, it was conducted by Sher-e Kashmir University in the Jammu Kashmir, and it has concluded that why these aromatic conditions are being coming from this rise? This is because altitude and temperature. Altitude in the sense it is height from the sea level. So, how much height it is, that is called as the altitude. So, this rice is being grown in certain higher altitudes, and also the low temperatures, right. Usually rice is grown more than 20-25 degrees temperature, but this rice is grown at the lower temperatures. So, that is why it has a unique aroma, that is what decided by the or concluded by the study, right. So, you no need to worry about these things, just understand what is the context and then special features of mushk bhujia rice from where it is when it got GI tag. So, that will be sufficient for our exam point of view. So, any doubts in this? Very factual one, there is not too much details also. Very good evening Oindrila, welcome to the session. Now comes the tuberculosis, the data, the disease, all the things are very relevant for our exam, and we have taken this article from the Hindu itself. India have achieved 16% decline in the tuberculosis since 2015. It has been almost 10 years, isn't it? In the last one decade, starting from 2015, India was able to reduce the tuberculosis diseases by 16%, so which is a good sign. So, we will see now what actually is tuberculosis and what is the target that India have kept itself and whether we were able to achieve and the data related to it, right. Yes. So, tuberculosis is a respiratory infection, it caused in the mainly in the lungs. So, this is an infection caused by the bacteria, it is not virus or any other thing, it is caused by the bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So, it is caused by the bacteria, the tuberculosis, and it is a respiratory infection. So, you can see here. So, this is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So, whenever this bacteria is present in our respiratory lungs, so it becomes the infection, and this can be spread when someone cough or sneeze. So, those droplets come out of our nose or mouth, and this if is inhaled by other person, then this Mycobacterium also transferred to this particular person and it will lead to spread of tuberculosis. So, it can spread through droplets, I mean similar to the COVID, how COVID has happened. So, the same process was also seen in the tuberculosis. It can practically affect any of the organs in the human body, there is no specific organ, but mostly this is being affected seen in the lungs. So, they may ask you that kidneys are the most part which is affected, something like that, they will change this, but lungs is the body where this disease is being seen in a prominent. Of course, it can affect any of the body parts, but specifically it is affecting on the lungs. So, that fact is important. Other than that, spine, brain, so all other body parts can be affected by the tuberculosis, and it is a airborne infection. So, I have seen the diagram. So, it is spread through air, air droplets, right. It is also one more important thing to be remembered, that it is a treatable. We have a medicines, right. So, we have a different medications for tuberculosis and it can be curable, but still there is a lot of diseases spread across, I mean the expansion of disease is much higher. This is because there are certain reasons for this. Even though we have treatable and curable disease, still it is being prevalent because of some reasons. Those include innumerable or unprescribed medicines are being used. So, the bacteria is getting resistant to those medications. So, only the proper suggestion is that then only we should able to use the medication. So, it is illegal use of medications is one reason. Second one is lack of sanitation, cleanliness in the surroundings, and the third one is the nutrition. Most of the people that who are facing tuberculosis from poorer economic background, that means they were not able to get proper nutrition to their body. If they could have eaten proper nutrition food, then this bacteria may not be easily sustained there, right. So, that is why this has to be tackled. It is not just about the disease, but it is beyond that. We need to keep our surroundings clean, we need to have a nutrition food, right, we need to use the proper medications on the right prescription. So, if we could able to promote that, then yes, this is going to be what you call eliminated in the next coming few years, right. So, we have a drugs for this particular same medicine. Now, there is also a vaccine. So, vaccine is what? It is a precautionary measure, I mean the preventable, right? Even before occurring the disease, we have a prevention, right? So this is BCG vaccine. Names were come from Calmette and Guerin. So Bacillus calmette guerin is the name of tuberculosis vaccine, BCG vaccine. So this was discovered by two Frenchmen, Albert Calmette and then Camille Guerin. So these are the two persons who have discovered the vaccine. They were able to identify the bacteria and they have used this, and then they have invented the vaccine for this same, and it was used for the first time in 1921 in the world, but in India we have used it in 1948, okay, as part of National TB Control Program in 1962. It is become a, the part of our national immunization program. Even now we have a mission Indradhanush where there are 11 set of vaccines that we are giving to the children. So this BCG vaccine is also being one of the mission immunization, right, mission Indradhanush, which we are using the BCG for the children, right. So this vaccine can it protects against the respiratory and bacterial infection, and it can also be used for other diseases to treat like leprosy. It is the same vaccine can also prevent some other diseases like leprosy. This may be asked in the statement based, right. So that is about the vaccine. Now coming to the actual data released by the Ministry of Health. So that is what we have seen in the context, the 16% decline. Now what the ministry report has said, so that is relevant for our exams as well. So the report was released, Indian TB report was released by Union Ministry of Health, and it has said that there is a 16% reduction of cases since 2015, so which is a good sign, right. Now the incidence in the sense who are how many members being affected by tuberculosis. So out of 1 lakh population, we were able to reduce it to 199 per lakh population. In 2015 it was 237, but now we were able to reduce it to 199 per lakh population. So there was a reduction, 38 per lakh has been reduced. So this number is important to be remembered for exam. And also the fatality, the mortality rate, how many deaths we are being faced because of the tuberculosis, that was also reduced from 28 to 23 per lakh population. So this is the occurrence, how many people are facing TB, but these are the deaths. So per lakh 23 people are dying every year because of the tuberculosis. So this is the data that government has given. Also 32% of the cases that were reported in 2023 are coming from private hospitals, right. So this is a significant number. Usually the TB cases are high in the government hospitals, but the private hospitals are also being reported in the higher percentage. So 32% are from private sector. So this is an increase of 17%. So even government hospitals were able to reduce, but private hospitals the percentage is getting increased. So this is a warning sign for India, especially for the private sector, okay. And then improved, the overall TB cases has improved over 50% in the last 9 years on annual basis. So on year, there was in the last 9 years there is significant improvement, right. And finally one more important fact is Uttar Pradesh has the highest jump. The number of cases that are being reported from Uttar Pradesh are much higher. So this is the highest state where the cases are being increased. So this data you need to remember for the exam point of view, because this is released by Ministry of Health. Now India's efforts in treating the tuberculosis. So we have seen what has happened in India in the last 10 years, but what approaches we are following, what schemes government is being implemented. So that is also important for our exam point of view. First one that you need to remember is National Strategic Plan 2017 to 2025. National Strategic Plan, they will directly ask National Strategic Plan is related to which disease, something like that, right. So under this plan, Indian government is going to eradicate the tuberculosis by 2025. Usually the world target is 2030. The World Health Organization aimed to remove tuberculosis completely from the earth by 2030, but we have kept the target to eliminate this disease by 2025. So, the next year we are in 2024 and the next year is the target to eliminate this disease completely. But do you think this is practically possible? We are reporting approximately 15 lakh cases every year. So, this 2025 seems to be a difficult target for India, right. So, this is one thing you need to remember. Next, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. This was aimed to expand the testing network. Most of the TB cases are spread because they are going unnoticeable, that symptoms are not very clear, like even COVID also you have seen that there are number of cases which are unnoticed because of the milder condition, but that was leading to the spread of the disease to a lot of people, right. So, that is why government has through this National Tuberculosis Elimination Program tried to expand the laboratory network and testing facilities, right. So, this is about the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. This too you need to remember. Then comes the Nikshay portal. They will directly ask this also. Nikshay portal mentioned in news is related to what? So, this is a website where any person can log in and all the TB related data, what type of medication should be used, what type of food should be taken, where India stands at the tuberculosis, everything related to the tuberculosis is kept in this point. So, patients or whatever people can log in and they can see the development of India's tuberculosis strategies and everything related to the TB, right. Then the last scheme that you need to remember is Nikshay Poshan Yojana. Earlier I said, just few minutes back itself, I said nutrition is one of the most important thing to cure tuberculosis. If our body has proper food, then it was able to resist in the transfer of the bacteria. So, because of that, to enhance the good nutrition, government has launched Nikshay Poshan Yojana, where every month some 500 rupees are transferred directly to the accounts, the people's account, and then they can spend it on the food, right. So, this is all the initiatives that government has taken about the tuberculosis. So, we have seen very detail about the status of what actually is tuberculosis, what is the vaccine, what are the medication, what is how it spreads, everything we have seen, and also we have seen the data released by Ministry of Health. Finally, we have seen about the India's fight, what are the Indian policies to fight against the tuberculosis. Any doubts in this? Yeah, hi Rajkumar, very good evening. Right. So, this is about the tuberculosis. I hope there is no doubt from the comment section. So, I am moving ahead to the next article. Again, this was taken from the Hindu, Indian Council of Medical Research, lung cancer management. Okay. Now, what is the context? Indian Council of Medical Research is going to bring a evidence based norms. We will discuss what actually is evidence based norms, do not worry, for lung cancer management. So, that is why we have taken this article that ICMR is coming with the evidence based norms to cure the lung cancer. Now, before knowing the details, let us know about the lungs. In science and technology, there will also be a questions related to the lungs, that also you need to know, right. So, lung is a organ in the human body which role is to help the body to capture the oxygen. So, these lungs are the breathing organs which capture the oxygen and then release back the carbon dioxide. So, that is the role of lungs in our human body, to capture the oxygen and to release the carbon dioxide. So, that is the role which is acting as the respiratory organs, fine. Now, there are two lungs in human and the right and left lung. Here left lung, right. So, this is the left lung. Left lung is larger than right lung. So, this was asked in UPSC way back in 2005. The left lung is little bit larger than right lung in the human body for all the people, right. So, these are the role of lungs and where they are located and what is the fact related to it. Now, what is lung cancer? What is actually cancer? Human body is all nothing but cells. The whole, like skin you can take fingers, you can take nails, everything is related to the cells, right. So, the whole body is cells, but the human body has certain level of cells to be grown. It should not beyond certain level, it should not below certain level, right. We have a certain amount of cells that need to be there. But cancer is a situation where there is a innumerable growth of cells beyond the requirement. So, that is called as a cancer, and when there is a innumerable growth of cells in part of lungs, that is called as a lung cancer. So, there are different types of cancers wherever there is a innumerable growth of cells in whatever part. So, based on that the name is given to that type of cancer. Here in lung cancer, whenever there is a innumerable growth of cells in the lungs, so that is termed as a lung cancer, right. So, what are the causes for it? Why people gets this lung cancer? There are certain reasons given by the scientists, right. Smoking, right, air pollution, exposure to asbestos, right, in working there is asbestos, and then radon gas. So, whenever the persons frequently comes contact through these things, smoking, air pollution, exposure to asbestos or radon gas, then this will lead to lung cancer. So, these are all the causes of lung cancer. Now, before going what is evidence based approach, let us know about the Indian Council of Medical Research. Many times it has been asked in the exams about ICMR. So, this is a apex body, the top body under the Ministry of Health. Initially it was established in 1911, even before the British, even before the independence, during the Britishers. It was established as Indian Research Fund Association, IRFA, in 1911, with objective to take care of coordinating medical research. All the medical research in India has to go through this ICMR, right. It was established as Indian Research Fund Association. After independence in 1949, it was named as Indian Council for Medical Research, but the objective is same, to take care of the medical research in India, right. Now, this is under the Ministry of Health, right, as I said earlier. Also, to assist this particular ICMR, we have established a board called Scientific Advisory Board with experts to assist the ICMR for any research, right. So, Science Advisory Board works under the aegis of ICMR, that is also important. Now, what ICMR is planning to cure the lung cancer? Till now in India we do not have any evidence based, that means there is how it is being affected, which particular communities are affecting, is it hereditary, there is no clear evidence. Yes, there is a lung cancer and there is a medication, so it is a random treatment, right, chemotherapy, whatever, there is no proper evidences to have that, only that yes, there are certain measures and we need to take. So, this is being happening randomly. Now, ICMR is going to collect the information or the evidence for each and every measure, every step that is involved in lung cancer, and it is going to take care all this evidence based approach and then treat the patients. And this approach is going to be named as, this is important, grading of recommendations, assessment, development and evaluation, grade tool. They will ask you in the exam what is grade tool, that was recently mentioned in news. Grading of recommendation, assessment, development and evaluation. Grade tool is related to the eradication of lung cancer by the ICMR. So, this is about the evidence based approach of ICMR. Any doubts in this? Fine, thank you. Let us move to the next article. This is a very facts and very important from economy point of view. So, you will see at least one question related to the India's FDI. So, we will discuss the detailed statistics which are relevant for our exam, but before that briefly see the context why we have taken this article. This is again taken from the Hindu itself. FDI inflows, foreign domestic investments inflows in India has dropped to 31% in this financial year 2023-24. So, we are still in 2023-24 financial year. When is the financial year? Every year April 1 to March 31. So, this is the financial year. So, today we are in March 28. That means what? So, 2023 April 1 to 2024 March 31, this is called as a financial year. That is how they measured, April 1 to March 31. So, we are still in 2023-24 financial year. So, we do not have a complete data. We will see last year data which is completed, and also we will see the present data as well which is given by the ministry, right. So FDI flows has dropped by 31% in this financial year in India, right? That's what UNCTAD report has said. Now what actually is FDI? Foreign domestic investment. So Indians, we have a lot of companies like Reliance, Tata's, right, Infosys, we have a number of companies, but we don't have proper fund to invest a lot in India. So foreigners, we allow the foreign companies also to come and invest in India. You take example of Microsoft, you take example of Apple. So any company which is not the origin in India or related to India, but are coming from other countries and investing some money in India, right. So that is called as the foreign direct investment. So they bring on money and invest, create infrastructure here, give jobs, right, and then give salaries, but they will take some profit. That is the motto, right. So foreign direct investment is the money invested by the foreign companies in this own country, right. I mean in India, the other countries coming to India and investing here. So they also bring skills, technology, because some manufacturing need to be done. So the technology, skills, everything is brought, not just about the money. So that is called as the FDI. Now this is the data related to the 2022 and 23, because this is the complete year, April 1, 2022, April 1, 2022 till March 31, 2023, last year. So we have a complete data, we have completed the financial year. Now 2023-24 is yet to complete, so that is why I also bought the data of the past, the last year. Top 5 contributors to India's FDI in the last financial year 2022-23. So which countries has brought lot of money to India? First one is Singapore, it has 27% of total India's FDI. So Singapore has the first rank, second is USA, third is Mauritius, fourth is Netherlands, and Switzerland is fifth. All together if you see, it is approximately 70% of India's FDI. So almost 70% of India's FDI is coming from just 5 countries, Singapore, USA, Mauritius, Netherlands and Switzerland, right. Now to which sectors they are flowing the money? These 5 countries or the whole FDI, to which sectors the money is going? That is also important for our exam. Computer, software and hardware is the highest sector which is receiving the FDI in the last year, followed by service sector and then automobile sector. So these 3 are the sectors that are got the highest FDI. Now which states are receiving the more FDI? That is also important. Last year Karnataka was the one which is receiving the most FDI because of Bengaluru. We have Bengaluru, Silicon Valley of India. So that is why Karnataka is receiving. So highest was received by Karnataka, then Maharashtra, then Delhi, Tamil Nadu and Haryana. So this is the list of 2022-23. This data is also very important for our exam. You can expect one question, any data related to this. Now till, I mean it has been 10 months, we have a data from April 1 to January 2024, January 31. So we have 10 months data. From that date also they may ask you in the exam. So there was a slight change in data related to this, that also you need to remember. The total FDI flow in terms of rupees or in terms of quantity is $17.96 billion in the last 10 months. So this number may be asked in the exam. Highest is Mauritius here. So it has crossed the Singapore. Here in the last year data, Singapore has the highest FDI, but here Mauritius has the highest FDI into India, followed by Singapore and then USA, Netherlands, Japan. So Japan has replaced Switzerland, right? Switzerland was not here. Take top 5 taking 70% of FDI. So this is the present data. Similarly, top 5 sectors, we have seen here that computer, software and hardware got the most percentage of funding FDI, but here we got the service sector. Service sector has crossed the computer, software and hardware. So this is first and then this is second. So it got reversed, fine. So this may be reflected in the final data also, though it is for 10 months. Anyway, you need to remember both. They may ask you last year data or they may also stick to this year data, right. So followed by telecommunication or trading and then telecommunication. And top 5 states, we have seen Karnataka was the top here, the last year data, but in the last 10 months Maharashtra has toppled the Karnataka. Maharashtra has received the highest FDI in this 10 months, last 10 months, followed by Karnataka and then Gujarat, Delhi and Tamil Nadu. So these are all the data that you need to remember for the exam. Next, the UNCTAD report about India. Yesterday, there was a report that 31% has declined, 31% has declined, but overall in the world, all the countries together, there was an increase of 3% FDI flows, but in India there was a decrease in 31%. There are many reasons, because some companies which are investing in India were not able to get the fund because of Russia-Ukraine war and other things, so their investment in India has reduced, but overall all the companies in the world together they were able to increase it to 3%, right. So for all the developing countries together there was a decline of 9%, fine. Now the India anyway, even though 31% got declined, but India was in the top 5 countries which are receiving greenfield projects. There are two type of projects, greenfield and brownfield. Whenever there is a new project comes, that is called as greenfield, and whenever there is a existing project but we are redeveloping, that is called as a brownfield. So India is the top 5 where the new projects are being launched, so that is also important, right. So this same fact that we have discussed. So that is about the FDI data. Very good evening Malini, welcome to the session. So these are all data is very relevant. You need to remember, we have given a lot of data here, right. So it is very difficult to get this data from various sources, but here we have kept at single place. Try to remember everything and then you can answer at least one question in the economics part. And the last article is about H5N1 virus. So there was again an article from the Hindu that highly pathogenic type of bird flu has affected almost all the animals in the world, and they have given very in detail about which animals are being affected a lot, which countries. That is not very much relevant for our exams, don't worry, but we need to know what actually is H5N1 virus. So that will be sufficient for our exam. So this is the context that was taken from the Hindu. Now what is this bird flu, or also called as H5N1 virus? So this is an avian influenza. Avian means birds. Influenza is a disease, the respiratory disease, right. So it is a avian influenza which is a contagious, easily from one bird to other bird it easily spreads, like how COVID has spread from one human to other humans. So this is an avian influenza which can spread from one bird to other birds in a much faster way, right. So it is primarily affecting the birds. This was discovered for the first time in 1996 in China, in southern China. This avian influenza is caused by H5N1 virus. It is like a COVID virus, but with a different name, H5N1 virus, which was discovered from China for the first time. And how this virus is being spread, so that is very important. Here H and N means is important to know. There are two proteins called hemagglutinin and then neuraminidase. So these are the two proteins which are sticking to the virus. See here, so this is human agglutaminate, so H5, this is a protein, this all blue color ones, and this one is N, right, neuraminidase. So these are the two proteins which are sticking to the virus, and these two proteins are helping this virus to enter into the cells of other birds. So this is how it is spread. Without these proteins, this virus may not able to enter into the cells of other birds or humans also, right. So humans cases were also there. So these two proteins are being helping this virus to enter into other body. So that's why the name comes from this particular name, H5N1, right. So this is the role of H and N here. You need to remember the names as well. Now the birds, how they are going to get this disease? It can direct contact, or any excretas, surfaces that are being contaminated with this. So anything birds which excretes or anything related comes in contact with those things, then it may be affected. Also human cases were also recorded. It is not like one human to other human it is not being contaminated, but from birds it is, I mean there are certain cases where humans were also recorded with H5N1 virus when they eat the chicken which is not properly cooked, or when they directly come in contact with the poultry. So in such cases there was a case, but there is no human to human transmission till now, right. So that is about the H5N1 virus. Any doubts in this? Fine. So we have very less facts which are relevant for our exam. Only one fact is there. Today, yesterday we have celebrated World Theatre Day on March 27th. World Theatre Day, and the theme is Theatre and a Culture of Peace. This is the theme. It celebrates because to recognize the importance of entertainment and the movie industries. So that is the fact and the theme. Fine. So that is about today's session. Now let us solve some practice questions. First question, Muksh Bhujji rice was recently got GI tag from which of the following states? For which of the following states? Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand and Ladakh. So Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh you can eliminate. So that is very direct question that we have discussed, that is from Jammu and Kashmir, right. So it is not from the Ladakh, you may confuse, but it is from Jammu Kashmir. Yes, Ramanjanelu, Indrila, Srinath, Rachna, all of you are correct, very good. Next question, this is a previous question from UPSC way back in 2009 or 7 something, we have directly copied. Let us see, I have added one statement extra, right. So let us see how the question is framed. It is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this TB is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, they are saying. It is a communicable disease which can be prevented using vaccine. So that is the second statement. Next statement, India has launched Nikshay Poshan Yojana, a direct benefit transfer scheme for TB patients. So that is the third statement. Fourth one, under National TB program, India aims to end tuberculosis by 2030. So this is the 4 statements. First statement is correct, right. So it is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is a communicable disease. Communicable means transmissible from one person to other person. So second is also correct. Third, India has launched Nikshay Poshan Yojana, direct benefit scam, yes, to give certain money for nutrition. So 3 should also be there. And under National TB program, India aims to end by 2030. No, it is 2025. World is targeting 2030, but India has targeted this 2025, right. So Srinath, yes, fine. Ramanjanelu, Srinath, Rachna, and all of you are correct. Answer is A. Next one, what role does India Council of Medical Research play in India? So ICMR, they are asking about the ICMR role in India, right. First one, it is responsible for medical research in the country. First one, it is responsible for creating infrastructure in medical colleges, that is second one. It is responsible for conducting medical entrance exam, so that is third. D, all the above. So what is the answer for this? It is not responsible for conducting exams, that is taken care by NET, right. So this is also not concerned with the infrastructure development and all. So this is how the students are confused, but most of you have answered this correct. It is responsible related to the medical research. So yes, Ramanjanelu, Rachna and Indila has answered this correct. Next one, consider the following statements regarding H5N1 virus recently in news. So this was taken from CAPF exam of UPSC only, CAPF, right, Central Armed Forces. Let us see the question. It primarily infects pigs but not humans. So that is the first statement. Second statement, it is named after the protein found on the surface of virus. So H5N1 they are saying it was named after proteins attached to it. Antiviral drug treatment is effective, but there is no vaccine for the virus. So this is the 3 statements. So, what is the answer for this? Let us see. It primarily infects pigs but not humans. So, this stands wrong because it is being affected the humans as well, and it is mostly affecting the birds and some pigs as well, but not humans is the wrong. Second one, it is named after the protein H5N1. Yes, H and N are proteins that are allowing it to enter into the other cells. So, this is correct, second should be there and 1 should not be there. So, 2, 3 and 2 only. Let us see. Antiviral drug treatment is effective, but there is no vaccine for the virus. Yes, so there is no vaccine for H5N1 virus till now, right? It is still under consideration. So, there is no vaccine, but yes, there is a antiviral drug treatment. So, 2 and 3 is the answer. Only 3 people have commented, Ram Anjaneyulu, Malini and Rachna. Fine. So, very good. B is the answer. Next, the last question. Which Indian state has received the highest FDI inflows in financial year 2023-24? Yes, in 2022-23 it is Karnataka, but in 2023-24 it is Maharashtra. Very direct question. So, answer is B. All of you have answered it as correct. So, that is the short session for today. We have not too many articles, you can focus on the static part, right. So, thanks a lot for the support and have a very great evening. Thank you.